Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to Math Qwest. Hey, today I'm going to show you how to solve compound inequalities. Yes, the hardest thing about this is the word compound. It just makes it sound complicated, but it's not, because I'm teaching it to you. So get your notebook ready and get ready to take some notes. And if you're not ready like that, hey, just pause the video and then come right back to it. Remember, you can play this video as many times as you want. So let's get started. What do we have here? So right here, what we have is two inequalities. We have x greater than -8 and x less than or equal to 4. First of all, understand that a compound inequality is created when we join two inequalities by using the word and or. Two different things, and or. This one is and. So we have x greater than -8 and x less than or equal to 4. So the first thing we're going to do is write this inequality numerically. So what's going to happen is I'm just going to flip this first one, reverse it, so it's -8 in the front. So we have -8 less than x. Now, I'm not going to write the word and because I'm writing it numerically, and I'm not going to repeat the x. I already have an x in here, so I'm just going to write this second part right here. Less than or equal to 4. Less than equal to 4. -8 is less than x, and x is also less than or equal to 4. That's my inequality. So how do we graph it? Simple. This is our range. We're going to start right here on the left hand side and find our -8 on the number line. So I just created these just to say, for example, that this was my -8. We're going to pretend that 0 is somewhere in the middle. So we have a -8. And we want the values of x that are greater than -8. Well, if they're greater, they're going to be headed this way, right? This way. Now, what do I put on my end? Well, this symbol tells me that I'm going to have an open circle. Remember, an open circle means it doesn't include -8, just the values that are greater than -8. And I stopped here, assuming that this would be my number 4, +4, because x also has to be less than or equal to 4. Now, because I have this equal here, right, less than or equal to, this is going to be a solid circle, okay, right on 4. So the answers to this compound inequality live between -8 and +4. They don't include -8. They just want everything greater than -8 up to 4, and it does include 4 as well. That's where my range of answers are to this inequality, compound inequality. All right? Pretty simple, right? All right. I'm going to move right along to the next one, and if I'm going too fast, pause the video and come right back. All right, here we go. Can we solve this? But what? Did we throw an extra number in? Hey, don't worry. I got you. Because you already know how to solve two-step, multi-step equations. We're going to use the same process. Notice that all of these numbers are constants. That means I can combine them together. Now, to make this easy, we're going to let 3 here and -4. We're going to let them stay there. That's their home. Leave them alone. Don't bother him. Don't bother them. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take the -2 that's in here in between. And remember to use inverse operations. So, we're going to add it to all constants, all numbers here. All right? So, that's all we need to do. -4 plus 2 is going to give me a -2 less than x. Right here, I don't have anything anymore. It went away. And then I have a less than symbol. And then 3 plus 2 is 5. Woo, 5. Not a 3 like I did here. Okay, so that's going to be a 5. So now, this is my compound inequality. So let's start graphing it from left to right, starting with -2. And on -2, I see that I'm going to have an open circle. So that's an open circle there. And I want values that are larger than -2. Well, larger, that means they go this way. Okay, they go this way. And on this end, I'm also going to have an open circle because it's the same symbol here. And x, in this case, is going to be less than 5. So that's it. I don't draw an extra line. I stop. I'm done. I just graphed it. Excellent. Oh, sorry. A little carried away. That's all we have to do to graph them. That's all we have to do to solve them and graph them. Guess what? You're now doing compound inequalities. You're solving them yourself. Told you it might make it simple. All right, let's take a look at our last example here. Now we have a coefficient now, and we have a couple of constants. And notice, we no longer have the word and. Now we have the word or. So what would this look like? Okay, so the first thing we have to do is simplify each inequality. So let's start on this side and simplifying this. Let's see, I forgot what color I had. Let's get green. I like green. Green's my favorite color. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and this guy in the middle, remember we want these guys to be, well, I'm not gonna add it to this guy because it's a coefficient anyway, so only to the 8. So plus 5 right here. That's gonna leave me with 3y. Oops, my pen doesn't want to write. It ran out of ink. Just kidding. Okay, 3y is less than, this goes away, so it leaves this, negative 8 plus 5, which gives me negative 3. Let's go ahead and divide both sides by 3 so we can isolate the variable, and we have y is less than negative 1. That there is my solution to this inequality. Let's go ahead and solve the second one. We're going to add 1 to both sides here. And when I say both sides, I mean both sides of the inequality right here. Okay? And that right there is going to create that 0 there, leaving behind a 2y, the less than symbol, and 5 plus 1 is 6. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. Y is greater than 3. That there is my solution to this inequality. Now all we have to do is graph them. Notice we didn't end up with a longer inequality like we did in the previous problem. This one is this or that. It's either this or that. This or that. Oh, focus. 8th graders are rubbing off on me. Okay, let's see here. So this one is negative 1, and I know negative 1 has to be greater than y, right? Greater than y. Greater than y, greater than x, doesn't matter. Here we go. We're going to use an open circle over negative 1, and we want the numbers of y that are less than negative 1. So those numbers live over here on this side. So put an arrow because it's infinite. From negative 1 to infinity, though those values can be a solution to the inequality. Or here we have a positive 3. We're assuming that we have 3 here. And I look at my symbol, and that symbol tells me that I'm going to have an open circle over 3. And it says y has to be greater than 3. Greater than 3? Oh, so that means that my values live over here. This or that. Okay, so notice these values in here will not be a solution to either inequality, but all the values from 3 to infinity or negative 1 to infinity are solutions to these inequalities. All right, and now you understand how to do compound inequalities. That's right. All right. Hey, I hope you got value out of this, and if you did, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. All right, and I'll see you next time on Math Quest. Goodbye.